Is it possible to make your own prime at home using everyday ingredients from the corner shop? Let's find out today on Snack Play Love / Foodstuff Finds. So, for those of you who are slightly behind on the trends, prime is the latest thing that the children and the adults are going wild for. It's a drink. It's not actually that exciting. It comes in many varieties, but if we can find the ingredients, we can see that it is, not focusing, filtered water, reconstituted powdered coconut water, 10%. So that means that the first two ingredients are basically 90% of the drink. And then we've got a lot of other little bits in: acid for flavour, mineral salts, colour, sweetness and vitamins. Now, this means that Prime have managed to market and sell to our children vitamin water. But not only vitamin water, but coconut water. And many companies, at least in the UK, have tried to sell coconut water to families and children as a healthy alternative to all of the colas, and they have failed miserably. But what that does mean is that it's relatively easy for me to pick up 100% coconut water, as evidenced by ingredients: coconut water, 100%. Then water that down using filtered, distilled, definitely not just tap water that's been in the fridge, and we're going to go the artificial flavouring route, because we have things from our ice cream maker. We have French vanilla, chocolate fudge, pecan butter and strawberry. Some of those will work well, some of those will work terribly, but let's try them all and see if we can make prime at home. These are massively out of date. I'll link to the review for this on Foodstuff Finds at some point in the instructions. Also of note is this is Pocari Sweat, or at least it's the bottle from, filled with tap water. This is another iron supply drink, which is the Japanese equivalent of the isotonic prime. It's a bugger to get hold of in the UK, and it's about £5 for a bottle. So like the prime at £2 a bottle, it's a bit expensive. But as you probably can't read, this one is just water and sweeteners and grapefruit mix and other little bits and bobs to make it a bit more healthy and interesting. But I really like that one. I was disappointed that prime isn't as good as that, but I'm actually quite impressed with what it tastes like, which is why we've got very little left in our 3 sample bottles. Not so keen on the energy one. So let's start decanting stuff and see what it looks like. Now, it's important to note at this point that our flavour fountains all went off 10 years ago in 2014, because yeah, we didn't really make that much ice cream because it's very loud and it's very annoying to continually shake to make a small amount of homemade ice cream when you've got a freezer full of stuff and a shop down the end of the road. But it was a very fun thing to do. So maybe I'll try and make some non-dairy ice cream with it in this summer and see how it goes. But for those of you who've never had 100% coconut water, it's quite a strange beast. It is just basically very liquid. It's runny, it's watery, and it doesn't taste too bad. It's got a very flat taste, a very flat smell, which is what Prime has endeavoured to try and improve with its no artificial flavourings, but they're not exactly from the most, well, when it says artificial, I think it means things that aren't raspberries, but raspberries aren't blue, so I mean, and they've definitely put colourings in. We know they said that on the packet. So I'm tempted to go for a 50-50 split for this. I think that the powdered one needs more water. So that would be maybe about there. How does that look? Because this is probably the least coloured of all of them, the green. So that's not too far off. we need the lab's opacity checker here, because once I put my colouring in, it's going to go a massively different colour. Yeah, that's a lot smoother. That's a lot less sharp in terms of the coconut flavour. And I think that's where a lot of the brands have failed, because they haven't sort of done too much to the coconut water because they wanted to retain the healthiness. Whereas Prime has put as much vitamins and jazz in there as possible to make it more interesting. So let's see what happens when we add some strawberry. So this stuff smells quite strong, so I really don't want to put much of it in. Ooh, you can't actually see, can you? So the last time we used this, I think, was for Halloween stuff. So, tiny bit of medicine. And instantly, we're now definitely in red Prime territory, even though it's not coming off the spoon. ASMR stirring videos. So let's give this a shot. Cheers. So that doesn't taste like it's got enough of the flavouring in. It doesn't pop like the Prime does, and I can still taste the coconut water too much, but I'll talk about that in a sec. Let's go for a bit more. Take your medicine like a good boy. So, because it's all in American measurements and this stuff is ancient, I'm not sure how much we should put in, but so that's now taken it darker than the Prime mix. It's a little closer. Because we haven't put any artificial sweeteners in there at all, though, and this doesn't have any anything in apart from glycerin and artificial flavors, natural and artificial flavors, you know, buy one get one free. It's very hard to tell whether it's as close as it could be. I mean, I'm going to risk it and have a sip of the ultra expensive Prime. Yeah, that's just so much better. It tastes like lemonade compared to tap water at the moment. It definitely needs something acidic on top of it. So the easiest acid that we have floating around in the house that isn't vinegar is, of course, lemon juice. I have put it into another shot glass, not that we have loads of these things. Let's move this away from the camera. One magic stain spoon. I probably want to put some more of the red in as well, but get that fruity strawberry flavour, because we've got the smell, but the taste really isn't there yet. That's pretty good, actually. That's getting closer. I think if I added a little more lemon and a little more red, then we would pretty much be there. There we go. Same process again. This is our third dot of flavour and colour, and another however much that is of lemon juice. So now we're a lot darker than the Prime, and we won't have the hit of the vitamins, but I think this is pretty close. Yeah, that's drinkable. There might be a little too much lemon in there now, just for the coconut water balance. But one thing I figured out while I was, I'm going to knock that over, so I'm putting the lid on. Looking at these, is that let's lift this. The energy in the coconut water, that's not going to focus, is it? There we go. 100 kilojoules per 100 millilitres. whereas the prime has 21 kilojoules or 5 kilocalories. So that's suggesting to me that I need 1/5 of the coconut water to the tap water, whereas I used 50/50, which is why I'm getting that coconut aftertaste that the commercial coconut drinks are getting. So let's move on to our next flavour. We don't really have a prime equivalent for this, but let's try it out anyway. So to make this whole process a little bit more scientific, I have, got the things from our sponsor, Pyrex, so we can actually measure this out. I'm going to do it in litres, millilitres, because I think that 50 of this, see if we can do this through the camera lens. So yeah, 50 mils coconut water. Still looks rank, but that's about right. It's okay, it's very hard to tell. To then top it up to 250 with council pot tap water. A bit easier if I put it down. This is presuming our table's flat, which it probably isn't. There we go, science. So we're running out of tap water now, but I'm sure I can obtain more somehow. So yeah, that does look a lot more watery than the previous version. I'm loath to stir it with the red spoon. I'll get another spoon actually. In fact, by pouring it into a different highball. There we go. So we're making about half the volume of the previous one. Still smells of coconut water. I think by using the Tropical Sun brand one, which is a lot more authentic than whatever they're putting into Prime, you're always going to have that fragrance of the coconut water, which is really what puts people off. But I am more than willing to give it a go. This was the most successful of the ice cream flavours. We'd used the most of this. I know that we used more strawberry liquid, but we'd put that in milkshakes and things. Just going to go and get a spoon. So if there is a vanilla prime somewhere, please do leave a message in the comments because I will look out for them. But at the moment in the UK, it's a pain to get hold of them, which, is a pretty good reason to make your own at home. But it's not impossible anymore. Asda have started to, that looks quite cool, put it out on the customer service desk so you can see how much they've got. Sainsbury's have it on a stand by the door. Okay, so that's a lot less pleasing in colour. Maybe I went overboard with this one compared to the previous flavours. When you're making it at home, you can dilute it to taste, so to speak. So just put some drops in, but let's see what it's like. Yeah, so that's just vanilla water, which is fine. The vanilla does cover up the coconut hit, so that is more of the balance that I would expect with Prime. With the other one, I'm just going to dilute it down with tap water further off screen to finish drinking it. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I don't think that it's going to benefit from Jif Lemon, but the only way that I can think to emulate the vitamins and all of the nonsense here is we have this, which is Better You Vitamin D Daily Oral Spray. So in theory, if I spray this into the drink, the Alpha Prime replacement, then we'll see what happens. So I can't possibly recommend you do this at home. Well, I can recommend you supplement with vitamin D sprays. If you're in a country, then you need vitamin D. Unless you are a manual person working outside in the point of the year where the sun produces exactly the right amount of vitamin D for you, then you are deficient. This is why people crave things like crunchy nut cornflakes. So this is a bit of a random shot because Better You, in their infinite wisdom, have made it minty. So now we have minty vanilla, which fortunately is a kind of ice cream. So if I find the right spoon, give it a proper vortex up the sides because it sprays up the sides. This is probably going to be horrible now, but in the interests of, you know, science, snack science, it's definitely got a little bit of something to it now, but I wouldn't say that it's more vitamin-y or that it was minty. I think if I come back to that one, I might be able to detect those flavours a bit more. But it's still basically just a vanilla-y water. The colour is massively off-putting. If you tried to sell somebody that, I mean, unless you're selling them a pub cider, then I don't think you're going to get very far. The only flavours we have left at the moment are chocolate fudge and butter pecan. And I really don't think that chocolate water or pecan water is going to taste any better than the vanilla one. So I would say that they're both a relatively successful endeavour, but they need something else to make them zing. In the case of the strawberry and all of the other fruity flavours that you could easily get for flavouring ice cream, so you could easily get a blue raspberry one. It's just slush puppies made with coconut water, people. Like, seriously, it is. And the lemon lime, the same. The slush puppy flavourings into coconut water. And we've learned today 1/5 coconut water. So 50 coconut water to 200 tap water will get you prime. And you won't have to pay £2 a bottle. That said, these are £1.80 a bottle. So in theory, it's only a fifth of the price to buy these, and you have to go through the hassle of trying to make it yourself, and you have to buy the flavours and things. So if you can just walk into a shop and pick up one of these, then that's probably going to be the smartest solution in the meantime. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you do want me to try and make more flavours, then let me know through the comments. You can subscribe as well if you want. I don't think it matters. But yeah, cheers, and enjoy making your own drinks at home. Bye. There you go. Taste on camera, just for legitimacy. This is the one that needed more dilution, but it's all right. It's all right. And this is the suspicious coloured one that doesn't have that much flavour. Yeah, vanilla water. Odd. Bye.